Welcome. Welcome to the Concord Carlisle High School commencement for the class of 2019. I love graduation. I now invite CCHS Senior Claire Wong to the stage to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Family and friends, please rise. Here she is.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the national anthem. Please be seated. Before we begin this joyous ceremony, let me remind you to turn off your cell phones, please. It is now my privilege to introduce to you the Superintendent of Concord Public Schools and of the Concord Carlisle Regional School District, Dr. Laurie Hunter.
Good morning. Families, friends, faculty, members of the school committee and administration, and most importantly, members of the Concord Carlisle High School class of 2019. I'm honored to share a brief message with you. As superintendent, I often speak to a wide-ranging group of parents, staff, community members, and public officials. Of those opportunities to speak, speaking directly to students is what I enjoy most. So graduates, indulge me for the next few minutes to share a few thoughts. A year ago, my older daughter sat in your seat as she graduated high school. Then this fall, heading off to her freshman year in college. We picked her up and brought her home 2 weeks ago. While she was packing up her room, she surprised us all by sharing a note that she and her roommate left in a desk drawer for next year's incoming freshmen. The note contained words of wisdom and lessons learned during the first year of living in a dorm away from home. I heard both practical advice and some metaphors in life's bigger picture lessons. Number 1 was listed. Use the shower in the back corner because it has the best water pressure. This first piece of advice was intriguing and had obviously come from multiple showers in multiple stalls within the common bathroom down the hall. Perhaps the comparison of the different shower experiences led to an informal experiment they hoped to spare the incoming student. The message was meant to afford the new occupants the ability to skip right over that brief frustration to one of comfort and efficiency. You appreciate the basics in different ways when you are away from home. My daughter, soon after arriving back, said to us, "I didn't realize how much you did for me until I had to do it myself. Maybe I should help a little more." Those were welcome words, obviously. Many of those things that happen for you may be things you take for granted. Be reflective and notice the little things. Be appreciative of what others do for you, and know that doing little things for others matters greatly. Number 2, move your laundry right after it finishes because someone else will move it if you don't. The message here, first and foremost, was certainly don't let someone touch your stuff. But it also recognized the needs related to sharing 5 washers with hundreds of students. Sharing new living spaces will feel different than sharing that of family and friends. I heard that message about respecting one another. Be cognizant of the impact you have on others. Everything in life is a give and take. Number 3, make a schedule. Life after high school brings a new opportunity for a very different structure and a great deal of freedom. No longer having a 6-hour school day can feel like time is suddenly eternal. Pretty quickly, though, the pleasure of free time can overcome the need to study, work, or meet other obligations. Balance is essential in the years to come. Life lessons about how to find that precarious balance of work and downtime begin now. Number 4, the beginning can be tough, but stick it out. Being homesick is the unspoken angst of many college freshmen. Everyone looks happy because that is the message they want to send. We live in a world where social media makes it look as if life is easy for everyone. It isn't. Change is hard, even positive change like heading off to college. Expect the unexpected. Truly successful people are resilient and tenacious, having fought on when things were tough. Success is not a result of an easy road. Embrace life's challenges. And number 5 perplexed me a little until I gave it thought. Put your notes under your bed the night before a test. This was from her roommate. I was most skeptical on this one, and then I started to think about it and realized, why not? Believe in what is less tangible and uncertain. Believe in a cause, a value, or a moral, where among the most consequential work we do as members of society. Believing in what is not concrete is often what makes our individual lives the most meaningful. Love, friendship, respect, self-confidence. Those characteristics are what make the world richer and our lives matter. So the conclusion, maybe you'll be lucky enough to find a note to guide you in the bottom desk drawer of your next stop, wherever that may be. What we do know is that your accomplishments here at CC built you a strong foundation on which to grow. Best wishes for joy and satisfaction in what lies ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Hunter. Now it's my turn to speak. So seniors, if you could be kind enough to give me your undivided attention, I'd love that. So good afternoon and welcome, staff, school committee members, the superintendent, parents, friends, family, and students. I'm thankful for the opportunity to speak to the Concord Carlisle graduating class of 2019. I have 3 simple messages I'd like to share with you in this speech. The first one, I plan to teach you a few things that nobody else is going to teach you. Second is about independence. And the third is about living life with the end in mind. In theory, this graduation speech should contain profound messages of life advice, where I impart words of wisdom that you will carry with you for all your remaining days. You will pass these little sage nuggets of worldly wisdom to your children, who will pass them on to their children, and so on. A bit pretentious to believe in 10 minutes I can transmit wisdom to carry for life. In reality, you will likely not remember a single word in a few hours. I predict I'm going to make you laugh and cry. That's not easy to do. To move someone from a blissful state of laughter to an emotional state so profound that your eyes fill with water and tears slowly cascade down your face. So maybe I'll fall short of this stated goal of making you laugh and cry, and I must settle for a smile and a little teary. Admittedly, moving you to tears is a greater challenge, but most families have a crier. And chances are that crier is here with us today. The crier would never miss a day of such magnitude like graduation. Maybe it's mom, maybe it's dad, maybe it's grandma or grandpa. Regardless of who it is, every family has an easy mark, and I need the family crier to come through for me. So listen up, my emotional friend. You know you want to cry. You welled up as soon as you pulled into the parking lot today. So just let it out when the time is right. Oh, look, Dad's crying again. No, I'm not. I have a bug in my eye. Oh, really, Dad? Both of them. Do you know the odds of 2 bugs crashing into your eyes at the very moment Mr. Mastrullo asked you to ponder your graduating daughter's first day of school nearly 18 years ago? You remember. The day you walked her to the bus and she held your hand. When the bus rolled up, your little girl hugged you tight and said, "Daddy, I'm scared," as her little blue eyes started to slowly fill with water. The nice bus driver gestured for her to come onto the bus, her little legs barely big enough to climb the stairs, leading her to the next phase of her life. Remember, Dad, as she sat down and you made eye contact, and both of you had tears streaming down your face when the bus rolled away and you both mouthed the words, "I love you." Is anybody crying? Let's get something straight. I set a goal for both laughing and crying, so rest assured nothing is off the table, and that includes your baby's first day of school and the dreaded drop-off at college. But tears are going to have to wait a little later in the speech. I told you I was going to tell you a few things that nobody else is going to teach you, and I'm talking about pet peeves, which is defined as something people find particularly annoying. Pet peeve number 1. Let's suppose we are making our way to get a coffee at Starbucks down the street, which is a Starbucks I love dearly, because it happens to be the only place in America with a bigger parking problem than this high school. It's the only parking lot in America where Waze is actually helpful. So let's suppose for a minute I drive up Walden towards the high school and prepare to take a right into the Starbucks parking lot, only to discover the parking lot is full, which is quite likely considering there is a total of 3 parking spaces in the entire lot. A full parking lot, a dilemma in hand. Do I park at Dunkin's and pretend I'm going to grab some munchkins and run across the street and get a coffee? Do I find my way to one of the metered spots in the road? Or do I do what some people do and just stop in the middle of the road, drop anchor while waiting for a spot? I can't tailgate and cause a 12-mile backup because I want a latte. There are metered spots yards away, and to make this option palatable, this wonderful town of Concord gives you 12 minutes for free on the street. And this savings is not inconsequential, because my cup of coffee costs the equivalent of a semester at UMass. Pet peeve number 2. Let's pretend I'm in a long line of traffic near Concord Center, and you are trying to merge onto the road. Let's say I wave to you and let you go. Go ahead. You must, no exceptions, wave and say thank you. Just a courtesy wave will do. You don't have to send me a card. I don't need a heart emoji. You don't have to follow me on Instagram, but you must wave. Are these pet peeves profound words of wisdom? Of course not. But a little kindness and gratitude will make everyone a little less annoyed and jaded in the daily routine of life. To my second point, it's titled Independence. I believe the students before me are better educated and more academically prepared than any generation before us. You are so impressive in so many ways. What I've discovered as a principal for 11 years at 3 different schools, and what I am now perpetuating as a parent, is the decline in kids' ability to navigate the world independently. At times, the inability to persevere when things get really hard. And I'm going to use an anecdote to make this point. I want to tell you how my children learned to ski in the juxtaposition of how I learned to ski as a kid. My children decided they wanted to ski. I brought them to get fitted for boots and skis, brought them all the appropriate ski gear, as they stood lifeless as I dressed them from head to toe, as they shout commands like a coxswain in a rowing boat. My boots are too tight, my goggles are loose, my helmet feels funny. My kids require their jackets be pulled over their gloves because all skin must be shielded from that little annoyance that comes with skiing called snow. I signed them up for private lessons, drove them to the mountain, dressed them, and then carried their skis like a Sherpa, as we searched for the instructor. Despite it being nearly 0 degrees, my children insisted I not leave the area. They must be able to see me at all times. I can't go in the lodge. I can't get warm. I must remain. I obliged as requested. I was there to watch, encourage, coddle. I showered them with false praise and picked them up when they fell. When the snow happened to permeate the seemingly impenetrable force of their layers, I removed their gloves, brushed away the snow, blew on their hands, and suited them back up. So rinse and repeat for 8 weeks, and they learned to ski, and now they're quite good. So I guess it worked. The message I sent was clear, however. When you fall, someone will always be there to pick you up. A dangerous lesson. Now to me, my parents decided that I wanted to learn to ski. Really, they wanted me out of the house, and I'm going to paint a little picture why. It's hard to believe, but I had a large, flaming, red beehive of a hairdo at that age, and I was wicked annoying. Albeit with a smile on my face, but from the moment I woke to the moment I went to bed, I was running around in search of constant entertainment. I can't blame them. I would have wanted me out of the house too. So my mother dropped me off at the mall where the bus for the ski club gets picked up students. We had multiple middle schools to serve the town's population, and I quickly discovered this ski club was for the kids at the other school. Oh, sweet Ma, I'm not going to know a single soul. You can make friends, Michael. So I boarded the bus and made my way to the mountain. Upon arrival, I needed to figure out how to rent skis, follow the signs, and waited in line. Because I actually can't ski, I army crawled to the chairlift. And then proceeded to fall down trying to get on the chairlift. So they have to stop the ski lift and basically pick me and my dignity off the ground and place us on the seat. I take the ski lift to the top of the bunny hill, and I remember being terrified. This is the biggest mountain I've ever seen, and it's the bunny hill. The name of the trail, and I'm not kidding, had the ominous name of Puff. I exited the ski lift and promptly fell, and my poles and my dignity scattered about. I made my way over to the hill and then proceeded to roll down Puff. My face is covered with snow, and it's so cold, my face is essentially the same color as a honey-baked ham. Now remember, I have enabled my children to a point where snow is not permitted to touch their skin. I, on the other hand, had snow in every crevice of my body, and I was wearing jeans. Because we all know there's nothing more comfortable than a wet pair of jeans. I went home that night. I said, Mom, I'm never going back. Yes, you are. I cried. I stomped. I pouted. But guess what? Rinse and repeat for 8 weeks. And a funny thing happened. I figured it out. I learned how to ski. I made new friends. The message from my parents was clear. Michael, figure it out on your own. Learn to fall down, to pick yourself up, over and over. And although impossible to quantify the impact of this experience and those like it, I have always been able to overcome serious failures in my life, and there have been plenty. To overcome and persevere through hardship and setbacks. So my point, as a parent, like other parents in attendance today, my inclination is to help my kids when they encounter a problem. Part of me thinks I'm helping them, while the other part of me understands I'm robbing them of their independence. I am dulling the important life skill of learning how to fail and press on. So students, the next time you fall, the next time you fail, the next time you encounter what seems like an insurmountable obstacle, I don't want you to call mom or dad. Don't call your brother, your sister, or a friend. I want you to figure it out on your own. And when the shadows of doubt creep in, I want you to persevere and problem solve on your own. You will get greater satisfaction from it, and you will be better for it. So figure it out. It actually says you're going to applaud here, right here. All right, my last point, living life with the end in mind. The vast majority of students sitting before me have been with us for the past 13 years, starting with your first day of kindergarten and culminating in the moment we presently share. 13 years with the safety and comfort that accompanies knowing where you will be and what you will be doing. As you remove the shackles of the known road, the next 13 years are far less certain. Enormous life changes will occur over this span, consisting of joys too great to describe in words and griefs upon which you will seldom dwell or speak of. The next 13 years for most of you will consist of college, your first real job, new friends, a life partner, and children of your own. Graduation, like the end of our lives, requires we give an account of ourselves, provide a ledger of what we have been and done and meant to the world. If I asked you at the start of your freshman year, how do you want to be remembered when you leave CCHS? How would you have answered? And did you live up to the legacy you hoped you would leave? I can say with certainty that I am proud of you. It has nothing to do with your transcript. It has nothing to do with your SAT scores. It has nothing to do with the college you will attend, or your state championships, your music awards, or your art awards, although they're all impressive. I am proud of you because of your kindness, your compassion, and your character. You truly are inspiring. I want to thank my closest colleagues, Assistant Principals Brian Miller and Yolanda Volpe. I think we should clap for them. Two of the hardest working people I know, with little fanfare, do so much behind the scenes for the kids at this school. They're my colleagues, my teammates, and my dear friends. They have helped me in more ways than they know. With their support, I successfully navigated one of the more challenging years of my life. I know a portion of the students in front of me arrive at school each day with a smile, and some of those carefully crafted smiles mask inner turmoil. I know this because after 11 years as an administrator, I know teenagers pretty well. And I know this from personal experience because there has been many a day I greeted you with a smile that camouflaged my own inner strife. Students, we might be separated by age, but our lives share more in common than you might assume. At CCHS, we celebrate the differences of the individual student, yet try to remind all of us of the common denominators that bind us. Each day, a total of 1,300 students and staff occupy this majestic building perched on the hillside above. One school, one community. And because of this, we should take care of each other. And most days, we have. Let's pretend for a moment that a drone hovers above just to snap a photograph, capturing all the smiling faces in attendance today. And let's pretend for a moment that photo was developed to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the amazing class of 2019. In 100 years, all these wonderful, smiling faces in the picture, even the babies, will walk the earth no longer. The common denominator of death binds us. It is a fate that awaits us all. We have no memory of how we enter the world, but we can ponder and predict the end. Death is not a common denominator we often discuss, partly good for good reason. A dinner conversation that begins, hey, want to talk about the fact we're all going to die one day, is not exactly a conversation starter. Perhaps the subliminal angst of facing mortality leaves the topic seldom discussed. What if we did talk about it a little more? At the age of 18, personal mortality, the idea of your own death, is still largely outside your conceptual grasp. For me, death is perhaps later than I think, but sooner than I desire. But this reality actually makes my life more meaningful on most days. So what if we live more often with the end of our life in mind? Would we contemplate the big question of what kind of life is worth living, and not sweat the small stuff like pet peeves? Maybe we would hold the door for the stranger behind us, or buy the person behind us in line a cup of coffee. Maybe we'd let the person in traffic go. Or maybe we would think twice before posting a negative comment online. Or maybe we would care less about petty annoyances, like parking. Students, if I asked you to write your eulogy, what would it say? Would you include your AP scores, your SAT scores, or your high school transcript? If we live with the end in mind, would we more often ponder what truly matters to us? Or would we still get high blood pressure over the parking at Starbucks? If I could write my own eulogy, it would read, here lies Michael Mastrullo, a trusted and respected friend. Those who loved him never doubted how much he loved him, even his dogs, Libby and Darwin. An adoring partner and best friend, a good son who was loved, a hard worker, person who have lived life with vigor, passion, and humor. A man whose children, May and Brooke, loved, adored, and described him as the greatest dad in the world. A man who died happy knowing that his children loved him dearly, yet they only loved him half as much as he loves them. The singular importance of human relationships supersedes all else, so make sure everyone you love knows it. My advice: before you rush off to the next graduation party, stop for a few minutes to hang with your grandparents. Before rushing out the door to attend the next college party, call home to say hello to the sibling you left behind. When you return from college, before you run out the house to see your high school friends, play with the dog for a few minutes. The dog missed you too. So did your parents. They all just want to enjoy that moment with you. So hang with mom and dad a bit. These are the folks that will cheer your life accomplishments and hug you through the failures. The world needs more kindness, so continue to be kind, put a smile on someone's face, and once in a while stop to ask yourself, am I the person I want to be? Am I leaving the legacy I hope to leave? If you live life to 100 years of age, you get 36,500 days on earth. As you sit here at the age of 18, you have 29,000 left. Dedicate little time to life's annoyances, like pet peeves. Dedicate less time, focus on what makes us different, and focus more time on the things that bind us and the things that matter most. Ask yourself, what kind of life is worth living? I believe the kind of life worth living is one filled with as many loving relationships you can accumulate in your time on earth. So put your energy there, and the rest will follow. Thank you. It's with great pleasure that I introduce the class of 2019 President Julian Henry.
Good morning. On behalf of the class of 2019, I would like to welcome and thank the administrators, staff, and families here today. I would especially like to thank the administration for allowing me the opportunity to speak. I'm certain I can make you regret it. I want to give a big thank you to Jennifer Kamenek and Kim Piculel and all the other parents in the Parents Association who dedicated their time and energy to making our high school experience a blast. Also, I would like to thank our amazing class advisors, Andrea Gillis and Kevin Capone, who have always been there helping us from behind the scenes. Without the time and energy all of those people gave our grade, many of our class events would not have been successful. I would also like to thank my peers before me. For so many reasons, it is only because of you that I'm here to give this speech today. And today, we are graduating high school. And even though I'm standing behind a podium right now, and no one has ever made the mistake of accusing me of this, I'm not smarter, better, or more enlightened than any of you. For those reasons, I'm not here to provide vague life advice that belongs in one of those inspirational posters in the science rooms. So in writing this, I asked myself, what am I here to do? And I came to the realization that I have no idea. Thank you. It's been an honor being your class president. Goodbye. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. I do think I have some insight that the other amazing speakers we have today may not be able to provide. Although Dr. Hunter can provide us with excellent guidance as we venture into the world, she does not know the struggle of pulling into your parking spot with 37 seconds left until the start of A block. Although Mr. Mastrullo has significant wisdom to share, he does not understand the gut-wrenching pain you feel when you're eliminated on the first day of Assassins. Although Miss Mcknight has a tremendous amount of knowledge to share with us, she does not know how hard it is to drive to Honest Taqueria and back, all within a 47-minute lunch block. So with that in mind, I accepted that my goal would not be to leave you all with a Hallmark card slogan that would change your life. I want to focus my speech on the unique perspective I can provide on our class. This is what I know. We are a class of firsts. To start out, we are the first class of 2019. And given the way we handled it, we will probably be the last. In addition, many of us are the first elementary schoolers to test out ball chairs. For those of you who don't know, these are essentially exercise balls that you sit on during class. We were told these chairs would help us with our posture and improve our concentration. So what did we do when we were given these ball chairs? Well, what would you expect when you give a bunch of elementary schoolers enormous rideable bouncy balls during class? Regardless, this is an example of our class being the ones to face a change. Following that in middle school, many of us were among the first students to be part of the one-to-one laptop or iPad program. The goal of giving students these powerful machines was to enhance our learning and prepare us for the huge role technology will play in our futures. So what did we do when each of us was handed a portal into the infinite pool of knowledge? We played on cool math games. No, but we also helped turn these instruments of distraction into effective learning devices. Many of us may not remember this, but in the early days of the one-to-one program, we actually had to convince teachers to post assignments on their Google Calendar and encourage them to put it on the day it was due, not the day it was assigned. Otherwise, how could we ensure we didn't do our work until the last possible minute? Although this small detail may seem mundane, this is the type of thing that our class had to figure out for the grades that followed. Then, we were the first grade to be taught in the new high school for our entire 4 years. After $92 million and countless hours of hard work and planning by administrators, teachers, an amazing school was open, which was designed to give us the optimal learning environment to reach our highest academic potential. And it didn't have asbestos. So what did we do when we were handed this brand new school? We immediately began making it our own. Sure, along the way, we may have made some holes in the locker room walls, and maybe we forgot some lunch plates up in the learning commons. Sorry, Mr. Mistrula. But overall, we harnessed the power of the building and used it to further our educations. We knew that in order to make this brand new building turn into an excellent school, we needed to do some redecoration. We plastered the walls with posters, we added artwork to the halls and classrooms, and we drew magnificent murals on the cafeteria's windows. I bring up these changes because I believe the magnitude of the transitions we face will continue to grow as they have throughout our academic career. We dealt with ball chairs, and then laptops, and then a new building, and we have also seen larger transitions happening around the world. We are the generation that will be handed an amazing, albeit confused world. For so long, our world has been hurtling towards economic inequality, climate change, and political polarization, and now it is in need of redirection. Because of the amazing changes and opportunities and privileges given to us throughout our own academic careers, we at CCHS are uniquely situated not only to deal with the changing world, but also to steer those changes in a positive direction, just as we were able to do with the one-to-one laptops and our brand new school. Soon the changes we face will be on a scale far larger than those we have encountered before. When we are confronted with these challenges and the eyes of the world are on us, how will we respond? Thank you. I now have the honor of introducing Emily Mcknight. Emily Mcknight has been a math teacher at CCHS since the fall of 2015. Despite her relatively short tenure at CCHS, she has made a lasting impression on a large number of students, which is evident by the members of the class of 2019 selecting her to give the faculty address at graduation. Emily earned a Bachelor's of Science in Mathematics Education from the College of St. Rose in 2014. After graduating, Emily spent a year at a small charter school teaching 7th graders math and began teaching at CCHS the following year. This spring, Emily graduated with a master's in mathematics from the University of Massachusetts at Lowell. Emily is an integral member of the school community who possesses a limitless passion for teaching students. She has loved every second of teaching at CCHS, and she is grateful for the support of the community and to be surrounded by a beautiful group of students and colleagues. Welcome. You're very welcome.
Hello. I am one of the criers, so hopefully I make it through this without crying, but we'll see. So, you have selected me to be the speaker at one of the biggest and most important events of your life so far. So there's not much to say. I think it's pretty clear that you have impeccable taste and fantastic decision-making skills. Well done. When I was asked to give this speech, I was surprised, to say the least. You, a class full to the brim of brilliant, talented, and amazing people, wanted me to share all of my wisdom with you. Don't get me wrong, I am so grateful to be up here celebrating with all of you, but I was quite intimidated. Unsure of where to start, I turned to the Speech and Debate Club. Their suggestion was to give an impromptu speech where you have a short amount of time to research and prepare, and then you just sort of wing it. While this sounded interesting, there was one major issue. Mr. Mastrullo made it very clear that I needed to keep this speech a fairly reasonable length. And if I got to just talk about all of you, I don't think I'd be able to stop myself after 5 or 10 minutes. I could ramble on for hours about how much love, admiration, and respect I have for each and every one of you. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I've decided to convey all of this love and admiration by doing what I do best: a proof. Yeah. They wouldn't let me have a whiteboard up here, so we can't write out a 2-column proof, so a paragraph proof is going to have to suffice. But given the number of times I heard, "Can I please just write a paragraph proof for this?" that leads me to believe this is going to be better anyway. If I had you in class, we made a huge deal about the very last theorem that we proved in geometry. And by huge deal, I mean you breathed a sigh of relief, and then you cheered and applauded loudly. You didn't think I'd let you get away without doing one last proof, though, did you? What kind of geometry teacher would that make me? Now, I know I've said this before basically every lesson, so it's probably meaningless at this point, but I promise you, this is my favorite lesson. Given the class of 2019, prove this is an extraordinary group of remarkably talented, inspiring, and dedicated human beings. Proof. Yeah, I wasn't kidding. Given the class of 2019, tens of thousands of hours of community service have been completed, and some of that wasn't even just for your college applications. Your academic achievements, your athletic feats, and your artistic triumphs form a list from your 4 years here, occupy a list so long that even I don't want to count the items on it, and I love counting. You are remarkably talented. Given the class of 2019, you have helped to create a community that inspires me on a daily basis. On my first day here 4 years ago, back when you were a tiny, adorable freshman, wide-eyed and eager to please, I was a nervous wreck. I had only been teaching for 1 year, and to be entirely honest, I wasn't sure that I was cut out for the job, and I was afraid that teaching just wasn't for me. That changed within a week of meeting all of you. The energy, the kindness, and the humor that you brought with you to class every single day made me fall in love with teaching. After 4 years with you, there isn't a single day that I question what I'm doing here. You are all remarkably inspiring. Given the class of 2019, thousands of homework assignments and tests have been completed. I have countless examples of your dedication, though one springs to mind pretty quickly. I don't think I have ever seen a group of people put as much thought and effort into anything as many of you did into con law last year during my class. Additionally, you have been able to balance the late-night practices and rehearsals with your early morning review sessions. You've spent your lunches and your free blocks meeting with teachers and going to the tutoring centers. You displayed a natural curiosity and love of learning that I hope never goes away. You are remarkably dedicated. I believe that this completes my proof. My step encapsulated the phenomenal nature of this class sufficiently, though of course not completely, because we don't have enough time for that. Now, I'm gonna be honest, most of me just really wanted to sneak in one last proof with you, but I promise there's more to it. As you begin the next chapter of your life, I urge you to always be thinking about proofs. Now, I don't expect you to remember how to use parallel lines properly in a proof or anything like that, but there are some incredibly valuable lessons that I was secretly teaching you all along that I'm not really sure if you picked up on, but I'll highlight them for you. First, approach everything you do in a logical and rational way. With everything that's going on right now, you need to be grounded in research and knowledge. You need to be able to craft carefully constructed arguments to stand up for injustices and make positive changes. Everything you claim, you need to be able to support with facts. Do you remember making up mathematical theorems to support things that you really wanted to be true? Those lines look perpendicular, and I'm pretty sure they are. It would be really helpful if they are, but I'm not sure if they are. In class, this just costs you a few points on an assessment, but in the real world, we get fake news. Second, know what you want and know where you want to go, but explore different paths to get there. Unfortunately, unlike a proof, you won't be given the conclusion, but that makes it more interesting. You are about to enter one of the most exciting, albeit daunting times of your life. The possibilities and opportunities that await you after the ceremony today are boundless. As you figure out where you're going, know that there won't be a clear path completely free of obstacles or challenges. Embrace these obstacles. Now, I know that can be really difficult, so at the very least, give them a hug, maybe an awkward side hug. Remember that you need to prove a seemingly set of useless triangles congruent to get where you ultimately want to end up. Metaphorically speaking, probably. Third, persevere through every challenge and don't let perfection impede your progress. If I had a nickel for every time I heard someone say, "Ugh, I am so dumb," after making a mistake, I'd be able to buy a house in Concord. We need to change that narrative. The best thing that you can do for yourself and your brain is make a mistake. Don't be afraid of saying and owning the phrase, "I don't know." It's my favorite. By doing this, you open yourself up to new information that you otherwise wouldn't have learned. See? When you asked me, and every other math teacher you've ever had, when am I ever going to use this? Our go-to answer of, well, we're developing your critical thinking skills and your problem-solving skills wasn't just a cop-out answer. We really, really meant it. Class of 2019, thank you for making my first 4 years here outstanding and for constantly reinforcing my love of teaching. You have proved to me and everyone sitting here supporting you today that you possess skills necessary to make this a more tolerant, informed, and kind world. Now do it. Take everything that you've learned from your parents, your teachers, your peers, and especially your inspirational graduation speakers. Take the passion, the talent, the empathy that you showed me every day and use it to do amazing things. I am already so incredibly proud of you, and I can't wait to see everything that you accomplish. Congratulations, and good luck to you all.
All right. Now for the time we've all been waiting for. So please welcome School Committee Chair Wally Johnston, Dr. Hunter, Superintendent of Schools, along with class advisors Andrea Gillis and Kevin Capone.
Stand first. Don't read Marshall.
Julian Matthew Santoro Henry. Odin Andrew Doolittle. Arjun Kumar Nanda. William Guy Beakley. Cooper Couch Meyer. Sarah James Reicheld. Jonah David Agajanian. Sorry, Jonah. Noah L. Alter. Carl Forrest Anderson. Tyler Edward Arley. Kaylee Lisa Marie Armacida. Janaya Zai Atkins. Alia Atkinson. Aliyah Atkinson. Theodore Thomas Ball. Alice Christine Bartlett. Barrett, sorry. Nathaniel Perkins Bartlett. Henry Barzon. Matthew Paul Batista. Margaret Catherine Belden. Jayana Denasia Bennett. John Burkay.
Megan Ryan Bernardin. Simon Ray Begay. Andrew William Blake. Margaret Blake. Peter Bowman Blau. Benjamin Andrew Bloomgren. Grace Curry Blunt. Joshua Monroe Boone. Jordan Sarah Bolio. Kyle Joseph Bonifant. Maya Carmen Winifred Bowen. Sorry, hon. Julia Rose Brannigan. Anastasia Rooney Brennan. Joshua Sanford Broderick Phillips. Turner Pierce Brown. Tegan Annadale Buckaloo. Natalie Joy Bumpus. Alexander Johannes Burt. Amy Bray Caggiano. Davio Calisi. Caroline Carlson. Alexander James Neal Caulfield.
Victoria Lee Circoni. Olivia Taylor Satursky. Elizabeth Marshall Chadwick. Brooke Ann Challenger. Princeton H. Chang. Alejandra Chardon. Sarah Mason Charest. Jillian Lena Shelton. Iris Yutang Chen. Will Alexander Chen. Aaron I. Chun. Victoria Clamp. Benjamin Davenport Clark. Hannah Julia Clow. Kimberly Jean Colbert. Emily Tare Concannon. Megan Stephanie Concannon. John Peter Conroy. Charles Maury Cook. James Carlton Corbett. Reed Stephen Corliss. Olivia Gardner Coutre.
Caleb Knox Kramer. Morgan Madeline Kramer. Martin Xavier Cunningham. Jillian Eve Cup. Shannon Mary Curley. Katerina Marie D'Ambrosio. Abigail Dorothy Delacandro. George Conrad DeBlois. Amos Moses Decker. Daniel Vargas D. Isabel Tess Dar. Colin Joseph Doherty. Liam Daniel Doherty. Sean Vincent Doherty. Ryan Nathan Donnelly. Zoe Simone Ann Donovan. Imani Pauline Dorsey. Karan Dilip D'Souza. Emma Courtney Duggan. Molly Flynn Dunk. Natalie Morgan Durlack. Catherine Sullivan Easterday.
Hugh Merritt Easton. Isabella May Eckler. Kayla Lillian Edwards. Alex Charles Ehrenthal, who is competing in the All-State Track and Field State Championship today. Zachary Charles Eisenby. Isabella Brennan Elliott. Nicholas Adam Ely Myers. Cameron Joseph M.D. Jardine. Yuki Endo. Griffin Paul Evans. Daniel Olegovich Evgenov. Dennis Olegovich Evgenov. Jack Wilkins Farber. Beatrice Elena Febres Cordero. Sarah Colette Fine. Rose Fenn. Isaac Robert Ferguson, Sloan Carice Ferrioli, Evan Matthew Field, Elizabeth Rebecca Feinberg, Emily Joan Flavin, Jason Terrence Mark Fletcher,
Robert Charles France, Charlotte Ashley Frank, Peter William French, Andrew Richard Freund, Leela Ingrid Gash, Lily Margaret Gage, Campbell Joseph Garrity, Marin Grace Gerstmeyer, Adam Gabriel Ginniger, Joshua Alexander Glazer, Colette Lutetia Robish Goodnow, Abigail Stewart Gordy, Fiona Fitch Gormley, Silas Michael Gramalia, Caitlin Kearney Ganasha, Philip Johnston Haddad, Owen Ahem Haddadine, Jake Austin Hatch, Catherine Kane Hayes, Tyler Abraham Hebert, Benjamin William Heinrich, Talia Jade Hislop,
Nathan Wright Hallworth, Yurixo Sarah Hoyt Rouse, Bin Lee Huan, DeKeys Linnell Hunter, Claire Huan, James Thomas Urza Leggett, Kyle Andre Jackson, Jennifer Lee Jansen, Daniel James Jellin, Devon Anthony Jenkins Jarrett, Grace Ann Jennings, Chris Gervis Johnson, Grace Kathleen Johnson, Kara Celia Johnson, Henry Langan Johnstone, Leah Elizabeth Yonchik, Andrene Faye Jones, Samantha Ann Dearborn Jones, Nancy Kagwima, Jackson Reed Kamenek, Mahak Kane,
Dahlia Katerji, Marina Lindsay Kaufman, Lillian Ayako Keefe. Eleanor Rose Kidder. Christopher J. Keeper. Thomas Percy Kim. Grace Eleanor King. Benjamin Kirstein. Matthew Nelson Kleiman is competing in the All-State Track and Field State Championships. Nikita Dmitrovic Kovinsky. Eleanor Pearl Kuchar. Nirupama Kumar. Bradley Richard Labadini. Catherine Elizabeth La Liberté. Emily Ann Langell. Lilith Sophia Langren. Kara Siobhan Lawler. Renee Kathleen Ledoux. Adam J. Hansel Lee.
Hope Lefevre. William Harris Lehman. Caitlin Marie Lewis. Jennifer Lee. Steve Shen Lee. Gabrielle Marie Lindberg. Sarah Rose Lindner. Avery Anna Alden Little. Julia Loganoff. John Garrett Laporto. Alessandro Alfred Lepresti. Cameron Stewart Lepresti. Nicholas Bruno Lowinger. Sarah Corinne Lyons. Celine Machen. Ethan Andrew McPhee. Zoe Gabriella Macy. Nora Claire Beard McGurn. Mahera Malik. Sienna Rose Mannon. Glenn Lauren Martis. Manuel Marentes Tarachi.
Okay. Charlotte Pattison Mast. Lorna Elizabeth Matthias. Caitlin Caulfield McCarthy. Peter John McCauley. Catherine Ann McCullum. Audrey Louise McKennett. Alexander Hanjin McMorrow. Matthew Jordan Messina. Phoebe Elizabeth Meyerson. Eric William Mitchell. Jada Brianna Mitchell. Sophie Elizabeth Monet. Hallie Ann Moran. Sydney Ray Mullaney. Aaron Ryn Murphy. Claire Virginia Murphy. Paige Elizabeth Murphy. Ravin Kumar Nanda. James George Neal. Aiden Austin Nickel. Andrew John Nickel. Rowan Daniel O'Connor.
Grace Mary O'Neill. Adair Delano Olney. Everest G. Orloff. Sarah Elizabeth Pace Zhang. Carly Nail Paris. Rebecca Suzanne Paisley. William Sean Patterson. Ducky Pellinor. Elizabeth Anna Peppercorn. Jonathan Habmeyer Perkins. Cameron Lake Peterson. Catherine Joan Picculel. Blythe Pomeroy. Elena Ruth Pohl. Laura Elizabeth Pohl. Hannah Lynn Poor. Olivia Rosman Poulin. Martin Coyne Price. Michael Griffin Quayle. Mahib Hassan Rabani. Christopher Carrigan Radcliffe is competing in the All-State Track and Field State Championship today. Tyler Pilero.
Kiefer Brooks Reed. Ethan Sullivan Redmond. Justin Reed. Katerina Schuyler Rentz. Francesca Marie Richardson. Adam Michael Riley. Isabel Burrell Roberts. Will Roger Robichaud. Emma Helena Rodriguez. Martin Roholi Medved. Alexander Michael Ross. Theodore Rosalimos Caligaropoulos. Sorry. Catherine Elizabeth Rudiger. Madeline Grace Ryan. Henry Keon Ride. Jacob Tyler Sabrin. Trayvon DeMichael Sands. Abby Francis Scheinberg. Logan Lewis Joseph Schulman. Richard Michael Schur. Christopher Joseph Sukanda.
Anantharam Sitaram. Angelina Margreta Serafini. Anush Anil Shah. Jenna Sharkawi. Aiden Granfield Shea. Nolan Spencer Shepard. Chloe Marguerite Shutt. Blaze Winfield Seifer. Sophia Andrea Sim. Thatcher Conant Sims. Natalie Hewlin Slade. Ian Alexander Smith. Rory Elizabeth Smith. Talia Tevi Smith. Ashley Marie Samol. Minjae Son. Yoonjae Son. Daniel Robert Speck. Lara Carolyn Spear. Leslie Elizabeth Stanier. Louisa Barbara Stevens. Douglas Arthur Gray Stevenson, Jr.
Caroline Margaret Gray Stevenson. Catherine Jane Gray Stevenson. Mariah Haley Stewart. Reed Benjamin Stope. Derek James Stout. Ellen Yi Sue. Vaughn Hayes Supple. Emily Joan Sutherland. Thomas Henry Sutter. Theodore Robert Sweeney. Taz Angel Simcoe. Asa Andrew Segvari. Juliet Kendall Taylor. Natalie Tedeschi. Caitlin Elizabeth Terpstra. Christopher Thorne Theodoropoulos. Dana Elspeth Tilton. Spencer Charles Torres. Cassidy Faith Trent. John Gilpin Trost III. Sky McMinn Trussell. Krithika Tupil.
Honor Jane Valentine. Abby Louise Versace. Beatrice Lucia Francesca Virgilito. V. Divo. Philippa Rose Renard Wagman. Ariel Henny Waldman. Naomi Marlene Waldron. Charlotte Ann Walker. Ben James Walton. Sarah Emily Webster. Zoe Olivia Weffers. John Harrison Welsh. Michelle Wen. James Byard West. Catherine Cecilia Whitlock. Carter Bird Wilson. Tallulah Isabel Grace Wilson. Taylor Elizabeth Wynn. Benjamin Miles Walcott Schickler. Wenwei Wong. Griffith Charles Wood. Hannah Marie Veronica Yell.
Caroline Grace Young. Gabriel Andrew Zenun. Hugo Ide Zhang. Elaine Feng Zhou. Rachel Lauren Zimmerman Diaz. Rachel Alice Zoe. Zoe Hannah Zufante.
All right, this is it. Please stand, graduates, soon to be. You may now move your tassels from right side to the left. Congratulations, you're a high school graduate. There'll be a reception right over there in the field, so please join the graduates over there. Thank you for coming.